Welcome back, all my fellow football fans, to another episode of the Football Mundial podcast. I'm here with my co-hosts. We got Daniel Valdez at the bottom of the screen. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, bro. Hanging in there towards the end of the semester, kicking my ass
Yeah.
low key, but trying to graduate.
Yeah, with the new AirPods, ready for the new episode.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Valdez. All right, Grijalva, how you doing, bro?
Good, bro. I mean, it's good to be back. Feels like it's been a while, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So basically for today, we're just kind of doing a little Champions League quarterfinal preview. We're gonna go through these four matches. We'll go ahead and give you guys who we think will win. A little bit of predictions, make it interesting. We'll go ahead and keep track of those, while the Champions League quarterfinal goes on. But with that out the way, we'll go ahead and start off with the first games, which will take place on Tuesday, April 6th. And the first of that being Manchester City versus Borussia Dortmund at the Etihad in Manchester, England. City's definitely going into this game being the favorite. They can kind of let up some, get a little bit of rest for their starters and at least the players that Pep wants to put in the starting 11 for this game, right? Because they're currently 14 points at the top of the table. The whole team is kind of shining. Probably many people may consider this team the favorite or the best team in the world. Definitely top two, top three. With how Gundogan has been playing in that midfield, the attack, even without Aguero, but he is back now. But even without him, they had the likes of Sterling, Mahrez, KDB, Foden, and the attack has shown. And I think what has really separated them from the Man City they've been in the past few seasons has definitely been that defense. Right, they've kind of tightened it up, and you have to wonder, can Borussia Dortmund hold on, and will they be able to, I definitely think they can put up a shot, but will they be able to take this tie from City?
I mean, I don't really see. I see it really clear for City. It's just a matter of obviously playing the games. I mean, I'm looking right here at the injuries that Dortmund have, and just the most important is Sancho, who's probably not gonna be available for the game. That's one of their key players. And I mean, going up to against like a City defense, like you're saying, that's just been really strong this season. I just really don't see Dortmund actually beating City in any of the two games, to be honest.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean,
it's.
go ahead, Daniel.
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty clear. I mean, City are favorites, and but I mean, what we're really hoping for is at least me, I just really hope it's a really good quarterfinal. I mean, Dortmund should really at least give a good fight. I mean, they're not the worst team, so I mean, you expect something out of this game at least. But I mean, again, City are favorites.
Yep, certainly. And another thing we have to keep in mind for Dortmund is the games that they have in the Bundesliga, right, in their league. They're not necessarily in the position like Manchester City where they're sitting at the top of the league, 14 points ahead. I mean, they're not even in a position where I guess they can't even really prioritize the Champions League because they're not even in a Champions League spot for next season in the Bundesliga, right? They're currently 4 points behind Frankfurt, who they're going to play next. They play them this Saturday. So, you got a hard game there. You got a hard game midweek against Manchester City, probably, like we said, one of the best teams in the world. And then you have Stuttgart at after Frankfurt in the league, who, I mean, they're not one of the powerhouses, but Stuttgart's, a really good team. They've really been shaping up this season. So it's going to be definitely hard, but I think with we haven't even brought up his name, but Erling Haaland, all he needs is that 1-2 chances. But I think what Dortmund's really going to struggle at here is like to try to be defensively solid and to not give up those chances, because we know City, eventually will probably create one.
Yeah, I mean that's what they always do, is just create chances on top of chances, and it's just gonna be really hard for Dortmund to keep. Like, I mean, they have so many good players in attack, and it's just gonna be really hard to keep that defensive block or whatever.
No, yeah, I mean, just going back to what you were saying, they're not in a Champions League spot right now. They've been struggling a little bit. I mean, haven't seen too many clean sheets from them either. They've been getting some results, but I mean, like you said, I mean, there hasn't been a lot of clean sheets. You go against one of the top offenses in the world, and like you said, I mean, Agüero's back. Gundogan, who's been with Germany, I think he scored like two. I don't remember what game right now during the national team with the national team. And I mean, they just don't seem to come down. I mean, they seem to just be firing all cylinders. It's really difficult, like you said. And then Dortmund, to be real, I mean, to be honest, they're not really financial stable. Like they don't have a lot of money, and missing out on Champions League spot for next season could mean a loss of a good amount of money. Which, I mean, do you prioritize taking your chances on the Champions League? I mean, you are. I mean, top eight. It's the last eight. Do you prioritize that, or do you prioritize earning a spot for the next Champions League?
Yeah, that's definitely something Dortmund has to consider. Uh, you know, I obviously you got to take it game by game, but looking at this tie, I think if you're gonna have to put all your eggs in one basket, it's definitely gonna have to be the Pokal, which they're still in also. So, there's a shot there, and the league to try to regain one of these Champions League spots. And like we said, it starts with that Frankfurt game, getting some points back there, and to try to put yourself within just a point, and then it looks much more likely, right? But I guess coming back to this game, to the Champions League games, I'll go ahead and give my prediction first off. I think it's gonna be pretty comfortable for Dortmund. I mean, I'm sorry, Manchester City, pretty comfortable for City. My aggregate score in total, I would probably go. I'll go 5-2. I think Holland can definitely put some goals back, but I think over 2 games, this Dortmund defense isn't the greatest, as we've seen. They're very shaky, and sitting back and just kind of defending isn't really their thing. So I think City will be able to put some goals in the back of the net.
I'll go next. I'll go City too. With I'll do probably aggregate of 4-2, with both games being 2-1 or something like that. Yeah, just hoping for good games, honestly.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, as long as Guardiola doesn't pull one of those weird lineups that he usually does at this stage, yeah. Especially at the, it's been kind of like the 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 story, the quarterfinals, just that mental, I guess, mental wall that they have at this stage. Like it's like Mexico at the World Cup around the 16. It's kind of that thing that you have to kind of break. But I mean, I think it will be easy, like you said, for City. I feel like if they just don't concede at home, it's gonna be way easier. I'll probably go 4-1, 4-1 on aggregate for City.
Okay. All right. So we all got something pretty similar, and we all definitely see City going by. I'm sure most people do. We'll go ahead, and I'm sorry, but the winner of this game would play Bayern and PSG. So this is definitely the more difficult side of the group. But moving on to the next game, we have Real Madrid versus Liverpool at the Alfredo Di Stefano in Madrid, Spain. And these are two very successful Champions League teams, not just historically. Obviously, Madrid, has the most Champions League, and Liverpool is currently tied at third. But they're also recently very successful. Real Madrid being obviously the 2018 champions, and funny enough, this is a rematch of that game, right? Real Madrid versus Liverpool, and then Liverpool obviously being the 2019 champions. But both these teams definitely are going into this game, wishing things were a little bit different, at least in terms of like the rosters. Liverpool, being the major one, missing their 3 starting center backs basically, and Virgil van Dijk, Gomez, and Matip. And Henderson is also a doubt, and I think without Henderson, that's a big loss. He may not be one of the most technical or best players, but he's kind of like their leader, right? He's kind of like essentially their Sergio Ramos, but in midfield. And you just listen to any of their games, and he's the guy screaming, he's the guy pushing them on, he's the guy motivating the team. And in a huge game, I mean, I'm talking huge. This is a big game, right? Real Madrid versus Liverpool, Champions League quarterfinal. I think in a game of this magnitude, you really need that, and especially your back line, Nat Phillips and who is it, Kabak. They've been they've been good, but this is a Champions League quarterfinal against Real Madrid, historically one of the best squads. So it's going to be a bit difficult for them.
No, I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean
yeah.
the
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
go ahead, bro. No, I was gonna say that I was going back on the injuries for Liverpool. It seems like it's just been really a problem for them this season. I mean, they're sitting in, I'm sorry, 8th or 9th right now, and it's not, and it's also a
I think it's
question for
7th.
them of 7th. Okay, and I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not far off of 4th either. So it's also a question for them: should they prioritize the league or the Champions League as well? Because I mean, they're not in a position right now for next season for UCL, and I mean, it's just a question for them too to ask themselves which to prioritize.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you make a good point. To be honest, just, I mean, I think what does help them is obviously the roster is still a great roster. I mean, they have great players, and most of the players have the experience of winning Champions League. So I mean, that's another point. You know, what I mean, you can kind of still try to win the Champions League, and then you automatically get a bid for the next Champions League. I mean, you have Thiago who just won it last year. You have Salah, Firmino, all those players. And just going touching back on the Henderson, I'm not a big fan of the guy, to be honest, as a player, but like you said, he's their leader. I mean, he's the one that yells, the one that motivates, and he's always been a big part of the team, especially this year. I mean, considering that he's played center back for most of the season and has done well, to my opinion. I mean, to the extent, and just losing him in general, and without having like experienced center backs or high caliber center backs. Because I mean, I think Fabinho will probably play center back this game. It's just a matter of choosing between the other center back between Phillips and Kabak. But it's an important loss. I mean, you have Milner who can kind of step up and be that leader, but he doesn't offer you. He's not. I don't think he's going to play the 90 minutes. And so it's. I mean, on the other side too, I'm looking right here at the injuries for Madrid, and I mean, you have Toni Kroos, you have Ramos who's out again, and obviously Hazard who hasn't been the impact that they hope. But I mean, they're big injuries for Real Madrid too. I mean, it's gonna be good to see. And then you just have Karim Benzema who's been on a roll, who's been on fire. Just and then so you put him up against the pair of center backs who haven't been great for Liverpool, and who knows? I mean, it's gonna be a problem for them too.
Yeah, and I think
Point.
Real Madrid's set up in a really good position to kind of make this Champions League run again, right? They they have this elite midfield who you can consider, probably the best in the world, right? In Casemiro, Kroos, and Luka Modric. But along with that, you have like Daniel said, the goal scorer in Karim Benzema, he also has the experience. I mean, the guy's been doing it at Madrid for a decade, essentially. Um, and then you also have like the Ramos. I think Carvajal may be returning. I'm not, don't quote me on that. But I did see he was returning to training and he might be back after the break. So Carvajal, if he is able to come back, that's a huge piece. I know you said Ramos was out, but he's been playing with Spain and he played the last game with Madrid, so they're kind of like trying to phase him in.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he'll be back by then. He's played like a half, 60 minutes here and there, so I think he'll be fine by then. Cruz is doubtful, but I really like Real Madrid's chances in this game. They're unbeaten in the last 10. And I just think their ability to like limit teams' chances, even if they're not necessarily creating any like too many of their own, but like with Benzema and like you said, the weaker back line that Liverpool currently has, you don't need that many chances and you don't need the clearest chance. I mean, even Allison, to be truthfully honest with you, Allison hasn't been, completely secure himself, from the couple games that I've seen. So Real
I mean,
Madrid,
yeah, even Trent has gotten a lot of criticism. I mean, he's been exposed
yeah,
a lot this season. So I mean, it's really not a matter of names at this point. It's just a matter of just their level at this current day.
yeah, definitely. I think with that, we'll go ahead and with the winner of this game will play Porto and Chelsea. So that's why I kind of said whoever wins this tie definitely sets himself up nicely. Not to say that the winner of this game can't win. It's definitely better to play the winner of Bayern Munich and PSG though. So I think with that being said, I'm gonna take Real Madrid and actually a pretty tight 2-1 aggregate over the two games.
I'm gonna take Madrid too, actually, just because I want to see them play. Hopefully, if Chelsea win, but I want to say 3-1 aggregate, pretty close games as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to take Madrid. I mean, I'm a risk. I'm gonna take Liverpool. I'll say probably a 3-2, 2-1, probably by a goal. I'll say by a goal. If they can get an away goal, that's crucial for them in this first game. But
And-
yeah, I'll take them 3-2.
And like not to completely down talk Liverpool because they did look good in the last leg against Leipzig, right? I mean, Leipzig's goals were kind of given, Liverpool's goals, not all of them, but a few were kind of given. But they did play better in that Leipzig game, so they still got a good shot. At the end of the day, they Liverpool. I just didn't want to make it seem like they almost have no chance. And I think our scorelines kind of reflected that.
Hopefully Salah has that little fire inside of him, considering the Ramos clash. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm not a big. What was that?
Go ahead.
I'm just saying I'm not a big Liverpool fan, but I mean I'm not a Madrid fan either. I'm just kind of taking the least of the ones I hate the most.
Yeah. And I think like you said, Salah just needs like that little chance, and it's not like he needs extra motivation, especially for this tie against Madrid and Ramos. But with that said, we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. Daniel, you want to introduce this one since this is against this is your team?
Chelsea versus Porto. It's an interesting game. Honestly, a lot of people see Chelsea as favorites. I mean, Porto is a good team. No, nothing to discredit them or anything. But I mean, there's just Chelsea is like in the form of their life right now, and it just seems like everything's going their way, honestly. And I mean, why not? I mean,
yeah, and I think Porto was pretty impressive in that Juve tie, right? Conceição has really made this team pretty disciplined, and defensively solid, but like we all saw in the last leg, Taremi's double yellow, right? So he's going to be missing his first leg, which is a huge loss. I've also heard that Sergio Oliveira may also miss, and I mean that was for me their best player. I mean I think those are their best two players in the tie. Maybe you could say Pepe, a couple other players, but those are definitely two of their key pieces. And unfortunately for Porto, Chelsea's kind of hitting their stride at this perfect time. Their incredible defense, I think it's just 2 goals in 14 games under Tuchel, which is crazy to say. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has Rudiger playing so much better. The guy looks comfortable on the ball, coming out in possession, and Thiago Silva, I think, should be back. Do you know? Yeah.
It's still kind of, they were hoping for after this break, but we'll see how things progress and stuff like that. But yeah, I know he was still a doubt, but I mean, this break might have helped a little.
Yeah, definitely an international break would help. But even if he doesn't, Zuma looked pretty comfortable. And I'm sure he'll be back for the second game. So he has Marcos Alonso playing at an incredible level in that left wing back position. So it's hard to not kind of favor Chelsea in this tie.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, you always have that dark horse, at this stage in the Champions League, but I think this is where Porto's runs ends. I mean, like you said, Chelsea have just been reaching new levels each game. I mean, their defense is incredibly solid. We go back to what I was saying on I think the last episode where it doesn't seem to matter who you put in the back three. It's just whoever you plug in there, it just automatically knows what to do, and it's just solid. You saw Christensen play really, really well back there after Thiago Silva went out, and then like you said, Zuma. And I don't want to knock anything off Porto for what they did against Juve, but we look back at their goals, and it's like Juve's mistakes in the first game. You have that Chesney mistake, and then I think they get like an early goal start in the second half.
I think both goals were within like a minute of each half.
And then when they play at Juve, you have it's a PK and a free kick, I think. So I mean, they don't really create that much, and you don't expect them when they're playing against better teams. So I mean, it's hard. I mean, they are really, really disciplined defensively, but you got to do a little bit more, at this stage. And I just don't see. I just think, I mean, Havertz seems to be picking up little by little. Werner has been doing well as well. He just needs to find those goals, and everybody just seems to be working. I mean, Gante has been really great in there. I mean, you put Giroud in there and he scores. It's just Mason Mount has been incredible this season, especially right now. I think with England too, he's been performing. So it's really hard to go against Chelsea. I mean, I feel like it's 90-90-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, and in the I think Timo Werner's finally finding like his, I mean, not his finishing boots, because I think the finishing is the one thing that's kind of still lacking. But I think in the tie against Atletico, and I mean, even in the rest of the season, he's been putting himself in those opportunities, like we've just kind of reiterated a few times. He just kind of needs that last the finish, right? The
Final touch.
exactly, and
Yeah, because
I think this. Go ahead.
It's a different story to see when you score penalties. I mean, that people seem to not value them the same. I mean, it's still a goal, and we look at Werner has won a couple PKs for Chelsea. It's just he's not the taker. He's not the penalty taker. If at Leipzig every penalty that was him. So I mean, it would be talking a little bit different if he actually was scoring those PKs. And I mean, like it or not, it gives you a little bit more confidence. When you score those type of goals. I mean, especially when you're lacking, you score PKs. I mean, it's an easy way to get back in rhythm.
He actually chose not to take them. I remember there was a quote with him when he was going through his drought, or they asked him why he didn't want to take a PK in the game that he won. He said, "Oh, I'm not going to take any until I start scoring actual."
Yeah, he said, "Have you seen my finishing in game?
Yeah,
I'm going to take a penalty."
Yeah.
It's just another thing. I mean, what if you take and you miss? Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're digging your own grave.
Exactly. Yeah, that his confidence levels will shoot downwards big time. I think this match is definitely going to be like a more defensive battle. I think it's not going to be super high scoring. I don't think we either have expected that between these two like defensively, organized teams. I think it'd be a huge loss for Porto if they're not able to have Oliveira. Like I said, I thought he was the best player. He really impressed me in the last tie. And then, like I said, Taremi's not there, so those two definitely push me to pick Chelsea in this tie. I'm gonna say probably like a 3-0 aggregate. I think Chelsea will continue with their little clean sheets in the games. Tuchel, being defensively good, all that. I'll go 3-0.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll just say 5-0, maybe. Hopefully they have some good scoring games.
Okay.
Giroud is playing back at Sevilla, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. That's I mean, I don't know if who it benefits or who doesn't benefit from this. The fact that they're playing at the neutral ground both games, but yeah. I mean, I don't. The games I've seen at the Pizjuan, the field doesn't seem to be too wide. I don't know if that's changed because I mean Lopetegui likes to have the ball, so I'm pretty sure he would ask for it to be. I'm not sure how wide it is, but I mean it's something that could benefit Porto. I mean just a little bit less space, but yeah, I mean I'll go 3-4-4-1. I'll say a 4-1. I mean, because I mean Porto does have a little bit of offense going. I mean they have Tecatito, they have the Colombian Luis Diaz, I think his name is, who's I think he's very very he's just very fast. He's just very problematic. I remember when he went in against Juve and he caused some problems. So I mean, I think they can get one in, but I think Chelsea should have no problem going to semis.
Okay. We've all agreed on these so far. So I think this next one, I think there's definitely gonna be a split in this one. We got the basically 2020 Champions League final rematch between Bayern Munich and PSG at the first game will be at the Allianz Arena on April 7th. And unfortunately for Bayern Munich, this national break wasn't good to them at all. Lewandowski is set to miss both legs. They didn't really have too many injuries coming into the international break. It was just like Douglas Costa, I think, Tolisso. Nothing too crazy, but I mean, without Robert Lewandowski, their goal scorer, who I mean, we were following him for breaking Gerd Muller's Bundesliga record. And probably potentially the best player in this season, and he's going to be out, and it begs the question: will Bayern Munich be able to pick up like the slack, right? Will the other players be able to pick up these opportunities?
Yeah, it's I'm kind of like iffy on Lewandowski for some reason. I mean, yeah, he's a great goal scorer, but I don't know. It's hard for me to see what else he offers in terms of maybe dribbling or like passing or like, I don't know. He doesn't seem like the most technical player either. So it's just, for me, I don't know if it's a miss for them, but not a crazy huge miss. Just maybe just in terms of goal scoring,
I don't know.
I mean,
I think he's like the complete striker at this point.
I don't know.
I mean, between him and Harry Kane, it's like you can't get more complete. And like without him, who are you gonna put there? Like Choupo-Moting?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, they don't have a striker. I mean, he just seems stiff to me. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. He's not traditionally.
He just doesn't look like it's like when you look at Benzema.
Benzema
sometimes doesn't
like
he doesn't seem like the most technical,
best,
and it's crazy.
But...
Yeah,
and it's like Benzema's technique and dribbling is just crazy. It's the little things he does, the little skills.
Yeah,
and like because I mean I've seen the Lewandowski training videos.
Yeah, over the seasons, yeah, I think he's definitely like added a lot to his game. He's I mean, you don't become the best player in the world. I'm putting quotations because some people can debate it.
Because Messi's
alive. There's Messi, and probably that's like the only maybe other competition he has for being the best player in the world. But I mean, you don't get to be the best player in the world without having the complete package, especially as a 9. His reading for the game, his IQ, his positioning. I don't remember exactly who it was. I think it was against Stuttgart where he scores the header. Like the way he just places it into the corner, no keeper's touching that, bro. No keeper's touching that, and it's insane. But anyway, just to kind of go past that.
Just like you said, I mean, he is a complete package, and then like the most important thing, he scores. He's just an absolute machine. I mean, it's not like he's gonna give you 15 goals a season. He's giving you 25 plus. So I mean, that's
at 40.
So I mean, it's like not even that. I mean, you can put Thomas Mueller. That's why I think he's gonna miss him. Maybe like Daniel says, he doesn't consider him like a big miss, but it's just you don't have that backup. You don't have that backup for him. Like who do you put? I would say you put Mueller as a 9. I mean, I don't think you start Choupo-Moting.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll try to like put maybe Gnabry and like have them kind of interchanging, and then put Sane into the starting 11 and go from there with Coleman. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
We go back to what we've been saying, that they don't have a lot of depth. They're not really.
And then on top of that, they have RB Leipzig this Saturday, and a huge game for the.
Yeah.
Not to. I mean, Leipzig can't jump them, but I mean, cutting those points is huge, and it's right before the first leg. And I mean, to add on to that, Neymar is back, right? And we've seen that what's been Bayern's biggest issue this season, and it's been their defense, right? It's been the ability for someone to get in behind them, and with Mbappe and Neymar, I mean, if Bayern isn't a little more careful, and they love to play that high line, they love to play a super high line, and if they aren't a bit more careful, I mean, Mbappe can expose that, Neymar can expose that. I think Icardi will play. Even Icardi might be able to expose that and just tuck one home, and that's all it takes. And who are their center backs? Boateng and somebody else, right? So Boateng, he's a bit. I don't know if they'll play Sule because those two are way too slow.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be Alaba.
Alaba.
So I mean, that's just the big question.
Having Neymar back is huge. I mean, he's potentially, in my eyes, like behind Messi. Honestly, he's just really good. He has that extra talent in him, and it's just, I feel like Mbappe also plays a little bit better with Neymar. I mean, it's just he knows those runs, and Neymar's the type of player to make that last pass
to create. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been playing. I think he came back during the League One. I think he had some minutes. I think. So I mean, he'll have a little bit of rhythm, but I mean, he's one of those players that doesn't really need those 2-3 games to get back in rhythm. He's just he goes in there, he knows what to do, and that's another thing. I mean, PSG doesn't have a lot of injuries. I mean, probably the
Well,
big one was
Verratti, I think
I saw
Verratti got injured during the break,
with
so
yeah. That's I was gonna add because I saw him right here, but I was like, he's injured on right here. They have him as
Alright.
injured, but he was playing with Italy during the weekend. I think.
well, that's actually where
Is
he
that where
got
he got injured?
injured. Yeah, it's a thigh injury. Yeah, so he may not be able to play. They haven't announced. I don't see anything like announcing that he's not gonna play 100%, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a chance that he may not play, which would be a huge loss.
Yeah, that would be a huge loss. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's like I don't know, like if Bayern was losing Kimmich, for example, that's a huge loss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
I mean
just those
Lewandowski's pretty
three,
big loss.
yeah. No, yeah, but I mean, like you added on top of
Yeah,
Lewandowski, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
that would be a huge blow. But I mean, I feel like just PSG has a great team, and like you said, just Neymar being back, it just gives Bayern another thing to think about. One more like an extra worry.
yeah,
So I mean, I mean, Di Maria can play basically, on that wing, kind of
he's
in
back.
the mid.
Hmm.
You have fucking Icardi, who's a baller, who's been performing there.
Yeah, Pochettino's been giving Icardi a lot of run.
Yeah,
I don't even think Icardi played in the final. Did he last year? I
I
think he
don't
started on the
remember.
bench. So, um, I think we'll go ahead and jump into predictions. I'm not starting this one. We'll go ahead and start at the bottom of the screen. Valdez, you want to start? And then we'll go backwards this time.
I mean, I like this matchup. I wish it could have been probably like a semifinal matchup, but I'll take my chances with PSG. I think they get their revenge. I'll go 4-2. 4-2, 3-2, 3-2. I'll go 3-2
Okay,
on aggregate.
close one.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take PSG too. I mean, I don't know. I think they want their revenge too. Neymar, he's back. It's just crap. I don't know. I'll do 2-0. 2-0. No. 2-1. Close game. 2-1.
Okay.
Close game.
I think going into this without the Lewandowski injury, I'd go Bayern Munich for sure. Not for sure, but I'd pick them as winners. Obviously the injury changes everything. I
Yeah.
definitely don't want to pick the same thing as you guys though, because I think we picked same predictions like throughout. So
I chose Liverpool.
okay, that's true.
over
That's true.
over
That's
Real
true.
Madrid.
That's true. Either way, though, I'm gonna switch it up on this one. I'm gonna go against what I think's right, and I'm gonna go Bayern Munich. I'm actually gonna go 3-3 on away
On the
goals.
way.
On away
There
goals.
goes. Nice.
Yeah, make it a little interesting, some drama. But yeah, I mean, I think this quarterfinal is gonna be really interesting. These quarterfinals there's some good matches. I mean, we have
Yeah.
two final rematches basically, 2018 and the 2020.
Yeah. I kind of don't like how they have that bracket now. I kind of wish
You know who's
it
gonna play
was.
next.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how much of a draw it actually was before. I mean, there's always been that conspiracy, but
Yeah.
it just gives it a little bit more. Like a little bit more flavor to it. It adds a little bit. It's just knowing, especially when it comes out to like this. I mean, you have like the winner of PSG Bayern against, I don't want to say City, but I mean City, and like Real Madrid, and like you already know, it kind of just, I don't know. I just wish they would go back to the draw, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but
I
still at
mean,
the same time, you never really know, right? I mean, I think
yeah.
the
And
most
then regardless,
favored one.
the final seems to be it's gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, that's what you'd hope for from a Champions League final. Not like what was it? What was it? 19? The Liverpool and Spurs.
Tottenham. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what and
I
Tottenham.
didn't even watch that.
That was one of the worst
I didn't watch
finals
it
in a
either.
while.
I
Alrighty,
took my
sounds good.
vacation
But
early.
I think with that, with the Champions League out the way, for this coming up weekend, club football is finally back. A couple big games, right? We got Frankfurt. What is it? Frankfurt Dortmund battling for that fourth place. We got Leipzig, Bayern fighting for first place, and then Atletico and Sevilla in La Liga, which is another big one. So we'll go ahead and drop that episode Tuesday, and then we'll have our Champions League wrap up covering Tuesdays and Wednesdays games, which will come out most likely Friday. So make sure to stay tuned for those 2 releases next week. It's gonna be a big week for us next week.
Yes, sir. Some good matchups.
Yeah.
Coming down.
All righty. Well, I think with that, thank everybody for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe on whichever platform you're on. Go ahead and leave us a like and a comment. We also got socials, finally, social medias. Twitter and Instagram is footy, FOOTY _ Mundial, MUNDIAL. Go ahead and give us a follow on both of those. We will have a giveaway coming up shortly, so definitely you guys don't want to miss on that. But I think with that said, again, everyone, thank you guys for watching, and boys, hope you guys have a good one.
Have a good one. Thanks for watching, guys.